Today I will share with you how can we use Google Bard as an assistant in our learning journey. Okay, so today I will ask Bard to summarize a podcast. So this is the podcast that we have from HBR. Improve your impromptu speaking. This is about half an hour long podcast, so you can definitely listen to the podcast and learn from it. And from here you can see that we have the details and also the transcript. Okay. So, if you are not a listener type of learner, another way you can learn more effectively is through this Google Bard. So, for example, I asked Google Bard to summarize this podcast. I provided the link to Bard, and then he gave me a very brief summary of this article. So it tells us this article is about impromptu speaking, and it discusses also the importance of this impromptu speaking. Then I asked Bart to transform this podcast into the slide and also to include some details so that I, as a presenter, can refer and get prepared. So it generated a 6 slide for me. So first we have this title slide, then we have introduction, and then we have a 3 slide of the content, and then lastly we have the conclusion. So here it include the presenter notes. Okay, so we have some notes here. Actually, on another chat, I asked Bart to summarize also in a slide, but I want more details into each slide. So from a simple point form like this one, it includes some other details. So this is like putting in the presenter note into the slide. Okay. So we come back to this one. After we have the slide, okay. So you already know what is this about. Okay, then have actually listened to this podcast. So I heard about this what, so what, now what. Okay, then I asked Mark to explain more details about this framework. Actually, I don't know this is a framework, but from its response, I know this is a framework. Then it gives me the example. So from here, I know more about what the podcast, what is the example being shared. Okay. So I also asked Ahmad to provide more example. Okay. After that, since he talked about the framework, so I just asked about any other framework we discuss. Don't then he tell me about this PREP framework for the point, reason, example, and point. This one I found is quite similar to the previous what, so what, now what. Okay. Then I asked Bart to compare the two. Okay. Then it give me the example and some comparison. Okay. So from here we know that what is being what are the some other details in this podcast. I try to ask Bart to write a full transcript. Actually, we can have the transcript from the podcast website, but it just give me a very brief summary. Okay. And then I asked Bart to have an introduction for the speaker. So it gave me quite a comprehensive introduction of this speaker. Then I asked Bart to export this into the slide format. It summarize again each into the slide, and it asked me what's the file format I want. So I asked it to export as a PPT, but at the end it actually give a link which doesn't work. And this is because this is still under development, so we can expect in future we might have this ability to export the response from Bart directly into a presentation slide. Okay. I made the same request to ChatGPT to summarize the podcast, but ChatGPT cannot access this external website. This may be because I'm using the free version of the GPT 2.5. Okay, but it actually provides some step. How can we summarize a podcast? Okay, and I thought maybe it's because the podcast I provided is latest one, so I give an older podcast to it. This is the link to the one is about produced in December 2021. Okay, but still it cannot access the external website. Okay. One thing I like about ChatGPT is that we can just edit from there, and then you can switch over if you have made addition. Okay, so for example, I ask again about this latest podcast. um it cannot access, so I just copy the full transcript and paste here. Then it able to generate some summary. Okay, it give a summary of the podcast. So okay, so from here I ask GPT to transform into the slide. Okay, so you can see the output is quite different from Google Bard. Okay, and from here you can just go through from its response. You ask more questions so that you can have a better understanding about the whole podcast. So instead of just listening to the podcast, you can use Google Bard or ChatGPT to summarize the podcast for you so that you can have a better understanding about the podcast and also have a better memory about this information. Okay, so for example, this is a output from the Google Bard. Okay, so you can use these tools to help you. AI tool is very useful for our learning. So I asked Google Bard, how can we use AI tool to improve learning? So this is some of the way provided. How can we use Google or another AI tools to improve our learning? Okay, feel free to share how you use the AI tool to improve your learning, and which is the tool that is you think is most useful. Okay, thank you.